This was the highlight of the celebrations, a show choreographed by the same people who organised South Africa's World Cup ceremonies. At the heart of the message, African unity. And leaders again promised democracy and equality, just as they did 50 years ago.
We need to nurture democratic governance and popular participation in order to create a favorable condition for realization of our vision. We can ensure neither peace nor development in the absence of democracy and popular participation and inclusive growth.
But on the streets of Addis Ababa, there are mixed feelings about what the African Union can actually achieve.
As African leaders, they need to understand that they serve the country and not themselves.
I hope in the coming 50 years, the leaders will implement what they are promising and also work on the integration of African countries.
Half a century ago, the biggest threat to Africa was colonialism. Now the danger comes from within the member states' own borders. The continuing conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo is expected to be discussed here, as well as a future deployment of African peacekeepers to Mali. And on the sidelines of the summit, Kenya is pushing to get International Criminal Court charges dropped against President Uhuru Kenyatta. There is speculation that some leaders want African nations to withdraw from the Rome Statute that set up the International Court.
I think we should be respected in terms of our own institutions, in terms of the ownership of our own processes, and in terms of listening to the voice of our people.
There has been a lot of talk here about Africa solving its own problems. One of the biggest issues the African Union has is money. More than half of its $240 million budget comes from outside the continent. The Americans and the Europeans are among the biggest donors here. John Kerry used the visit to announce the appointment of a US envoy to Sudan, and he pushed Nigeria to respect human rights in its fight against Boko Haram. Despite the poverty and the continuing conflicts, there's a sense of pride here in what Africa has achieved, and also a sense that things will get better. Nazanine Moshiri, Al Jazeera, Addis Ababa.